this together.
Okay.
So everybody will put one up. I want you to explain what made your choice, okay? So under agriculture, we have grows, produces food. Main example was rice. So what made you put those up, Lindsay? So we put it yesterday, good. So Lindsay kind of utilized her time after school. We emphasized the role of rice. So do you guys remember what part of China rice was primarily grown in? The South. Similar to the United States, what happens as we go south?
It gets wetter.
It gets wetter, but
Hotter.
also warmer, right? So rice needs a ton of water in order to grow. It also needs a warm climate. That's what southern China provided. Yes, Kylie?
I was just going to say, I thought China had a lot of rice.
China does have a lot of rice. Absolutely. That's how it was able to support such a large
I
population.
don't think any utensils in the world to eat rice that way in chopsticks.
One
So guys, back here. So another reason why my farmers moved south, it wasn't only because of the better conditions where they could grow the rice, but who was the country bordering next door? They weren't a country yet, but the people, the nomads. Good, the Mongolians, right? So Genghis Khan, Kublai Khan, they constantly invaded China. That's one of the reasons, and one of the main reasons they ended up moving south. Good. So harrow, which we said is what? We'll put this one up. So harrow, tell me about it. Good, so a farm tool similar to a hoe, which was used to help break out, and then up here, even out plowed land. The chain pump, I think, where's Skylar's right here. Tell me a little bit about the chain pump.
Well, at first, just the definition, I didn't know what it was, but then the PowerPoint, when I saw the picture, it kind of made sense.
So,
I didn't get it.
so can you explain? Do you
Oh, yeah. It was, so you had, like, the crops, and then there's water, and then there's this big, it was like a conveyor belt sort of, and it brought the buckets down, and the water scooped up, and then it dumped it out, and it got up.
Okay, so these buckets right here, Skylar, was there anything in these? No, so,
And then there's water down there.
yep, so we get down here, still another empty bucket. Bucket gets down here, what does it pick up?
The water.
Picks up the water, and then moves the water out of what is known as the rice paddy, right? It hits some type of ledge right here. What happens to the water? Yeah, good, so the water keeps flying out. So it's a way to prevent the fields from flooding. It was a great way to monitor how much water was in the rice paddies, again, prevent them from flooding or the typhoons when they occurred. It was a great way to try to maximize rice production, again, to support the almost 100 million people. Yes, Beth?
I have a movie
Yep.
where they show, like, the planting of rice.
Interesting. And what, are they usually planting it right in the water itself? Do they?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like a money field.
Right, absolutely. Good. So, good. So that's one of the main parts of agriculture. So trade and commerce. Purple up here, put this down. Trading for better goods or for items you don't have.
I think that was me.
Okay. So,
that was me.
do you want to expand on that at all, or does that speak for itself?
I think it speaks for myself,
Okay.
but,
So, for example, what kind of things would people trade for?
well, if you weren't in China and you didn't have rice and you wanted it, you could trade
Good.
for the rice.
Good. So trading for rice. Lindsay, what was the phrase that we used yesterday for the two things? Good. So you buy two things. This is what keeps an economy going. What you want. But just as importantly, to keep the economy going and money circulating, what you need.
Like food.
So you need both those things working together. So you had your food, like Matt just said, your water, but also Adam's cowboy hat, right? So that keeps money flowing in the economy.
They might need this. They might need
It's
this. Stylish.
Hey, it's intimidating, right? Walking into class with a cowboy hat on.
So you better back off or I'll take out my 6 shooters.
So having
war right now.
what you want, what you need is what keeps the economy going. It's no different than when you guys go to a mall. You probably don't go there just to buy lunch. You go there to buy clothes or a basketball or what do you do, Matt?
Hang out.
Or hang out, I guess, but that doesn't
do
count.
that.
Video society. Video games.
I don't.
Right, so video
I
games,
only
whatever it
hang
may
out
be,
with the
that
guys.
keeps the economy going. Let's see, good. What you want to read? Supply and demand. Excellent. That's kind of the modern day phrase for a successful economy. You have people who can produce what the consumers want and need, right? Barge, Ben, tell me a little bit about that.
Well, just a boat, and they would like load it up with stuff, and then they would travel it down wherever it is.
And you think that was faster or slower than loading up a camel or a horse?
Faster.
Faster, right?
And you could carry more.
And you could carry more. And a lot of times it was heavier things you were able to carry, right? So in a barge you can, I don't know, move metal or even animals, whereas can you pile another animal on top of a camel and have it stay there the whole time?
Go!
I
If
think
it's
something
already
would
divided up, dog
happen,
on camel.
but
If it's alive, that's much harder to do, right? Whereas a barge, I think it moved 45 miles a day on average, whereas the camel or horse will only move about half that at 25 miles an hour.
45.
Samuel, was this you right here?
No.
Kyler, so tell me a little about get useful items for useless items.
Well, what we were talking about was the money and Salem's pen. Like, the pen could be useful really on an island.
And what do we say about paper money? What's the one thing that makes it effective?
If everybody uses it.
If everybody uses it and everybody accepts the value of it, right? Excellent. You're going to see down here, let's see urbanization. So who put this up top here? I see Matt giggling. Matt, was this you or was it Matt?
That was me.
Okay, tell me a little bit about it.
Greater EIEIO population.
Greater EIO. So urbanization, just the definition itself, is kind of this growing population inside of what? It grows into what?
EIEIO.
No, not from EIEIO. From town, it grows into small, like towns or villages into what? Cities, right. Good.
And into kids.
How do you spell town?
So going back to West Africa, right? So they're constantly expanding, and like you said, the
Like the
kingdoms.
button.
This point right here is excellent. Who wrote this down? Me. More food equals bigger population. If we don't have enough food to support our population, what will happen?
We will die.
We-
Decrease.
You'll die and it will decrease, and then therefore the overall kind of community or city will probably not be as healthy and as strong as it was beforehand. Jazz mentioned this one before, shelter. And if you're going to have 100,000 people in a city, you have to make sure that there's room for 100,000 people to stay. Otherwise, you go into problems with homelessness, which we know still exists today. But shelter is crucial. Let's see. Excellent point here. How about this? Oh, Lindsay, yep. So, tell me a little bit about this.
I can't even see that.
Well, maybe you need better eyes.
Lindsay, you got the show. It's kind of like
Please,
we'll see
their
there
eyes.
up here. So cities grow because their needs are supported by commerce and agriculture, stores, attractions, jobs, right? So if we talk about being able to buy what we want and what we need money. How do we get money?
Job.
Jobs, we work for it. All three. So this kind of wraps everything up, brings it full circle. Who? Matt?
You can tell by the handwriting.
Why
Oh,
did you space
I
it?
shouldn't
I
have
don't
asked.
know.
So Matt, what did you write down?
With good agriculture, you can have commerce and urbanization.
Okay.
Because if you have agriculture like that, gives you abundance,
Oh my
and you
God.
have too much rice, you could sell the extra rice
Okay, good.
and get money, and you'll end up getting an urbanization because you're getting a bigger population from all the food, and then making all the rice and selling it.
Good. So this idea that all three tie in together, right? So although we identified urbanization, trade, agriculture on their own, in the end they all tie back into a cycle. So point number 2 here. Whose was this?
Me.
Sierra, tell me a little bit about it because I know you were excited to write that one up there.
Well, good agriculture leads to a bigger population, and then you can trade the surplus food that you make.
Perfect. So you guys tying right off each other, right? So the surplus of food is essential. Making sure you have enough food is essential to make sure that your population is stable and at the very least stable, I should say, and has the opportunity to grow.
Hers was actually readable.
Yeah, that is true. I have no problem reading yours either. Whose is this one right here? Salem?
Yeah.
So tell me about it.
Like trade, you can trade food.
Yeah.
Like you can, hey, I'll give you a potato for an order.
Yeah.
And then for agriculture, it's just farming. And then urbanization. It's just like more
You
food
plant an orange tree.
from the farms.
Which then supports what?
Or they grow out of
The city's good. Guys, need your attention. See your turn on
Potato for an orange.
So guys, again, Salem pointed out that all three of these are supported by agriculture. Obviously, agriculture itself, the process, kind of growing food is supporting. But trade, as you guys have mentioned, Sierra and Matt, with your surplus, you can then trade whether it's rice, corn, millet, wheat, whatever it is. And lastly, again, supporting the population with the food that you have. Last one down here, whose was this? Yep, tell me about it.
Okay, well, when you start farming,
Yeah.
then like vegetables and all that stuff, or like the rice that you grow from farming can be traded to get either money for other goods, and then the money can be put into build the city.
Good. So money could be put in to build the city. Also, if I have what I need and I still have money, what will I then do? What is this part right here? I'll get what you want. So if I have food, if I have shelter, if I have clothing, then I can spend the extra money I have on what I want. So that's kind of where we'll wrap up. Is there anybody who needs a couple more minutes to jot this down? You guys did a terrific job with this again. I'm impressed. So,
That means we get $100 each, right?
no, and unfortunately, Mr. Rammer does not have $100 in his pocket to give you guys.
I'll take the
I bet you
5.
other Mr. River does go ask.
Good, Jake.